saying that nuclear power solves water scarcity. However, they're not aware that nuclear power is actually the main cause of water scarcity because, nuclear power releases tritium, which makes water control impossible. This is extending my partner's argument. And secondly, they say that nuclear power is the main way for a good economy. However, they're not aware that if one single accident happened, the whole economy would collapse. According to Lynn, National Research Defense Council 2012, the occurrence of one major accident would bring irreparable harm to the lives and property of Chinese citizens and the environment. It would also bring unprecedented damage to China's nuclear industry. And they say that multiple safeguards and tests are going to solve the accidents problem. However, I'd like to point out that that is impossible because to extend on my partner's arguments on accidents, well, first of all, China has minor nuclear accidents all the time, and 2/3 of them are caused by human error. And it is impossible to prevent human error completely because, well, humans make mistakes all the time. And therefore, the humans will make a mistake sometime, and one mistake could prove fatal. And secondly, politics is a determining factor in Chinese decisions over which type of reactors to set instead of design and safety features. So China is basically cares more about politics and decides to put nuclear plants where politics works instead of where safety works. And furthermore, they try to reply to my partner's argument about China not having enough skilled workers. They say that they can hire from other countries. But however, it says that sending workers to other countries cannot fill the demand, and all nuclear companies operating in China know that finding a qualified labor force is their most difficult challenge. Therefore, they cannot build more nuclear power plants to sustain enough energy for China. Okay. They made the argument that coal would run out, and therefore, using nuclear power would solve the LNG reliancy. However, replacing fossil fuels with nuclear power is unsustainable. This is from Science Daily 2008. Such a large investment would require major improvement in nuclear power efficiency. Otherwise, each new power plant will simply cannibalize the energy produced by early nuclear power plants. The energy input required for mining and processing uranium ore to use in a power plant costs huge amounts of energy. And to build and operate cannot be offset by power production in high growth scenario. In addition, nuclear power produces a lot of heat as a byproduct, and this directly heats the earth. So they say that they solve pollution and solve global warming. However, by producing nuclear power plants, this heats the earth, which increases pollution and global warming. Okay, and they're making the link argument saying that global warming will cause extinction. However, they have not said how global warming will cause extinction, and that the whole human race would be extinct. And furthermore, if one nuclear accident happened, the time frame would be much sooner. So many people would be harmed, such as in the Chernobyl accident, 1 million people died from that accident. Well, and you can't be ensured that global warming will cause extinction. Therefore, it will be much, the impact is greater in a nuclear accident happening. So, basically to sum it all up, nuclear power plants causes so many, accidents can never be diminished. Well, they can be diminished, but they can never be prevented. And this harms so many people's lives, and it takes away all their advantages. Thank you.
Time. Crossfire. Anthony, let's go.
Okay.
That's the question starting now.
You mentioned that nuclear power setting is determined on politics instead of safety. Well, that was previous ones with safe rails, but now they are multiplying the number of nuclear power plants, and they are building it under the government. Do you believe that they are going to cite it under the politics or under safety?
Of course, they'll cite it under safety, but however, under the government, they are using politics as a determining factor.
Well, you said your question.
Okay. Well, when you say that nuclear power is the only option, are you aware that actually nuclear causes more harm than it does advantages?
Well, you do not have any other thing to do. You don't have coal power. You want to spend all your money on building these lousy wind power things. It's just a waste of money. It's not going to work for hydropower, and well, nuclear power is our only solution.
But what if what if an accident happens? Is that going to repay the advantages that it gets?
I'll tell you one more time. They are making multiple safeguards and have been checking for the last few months, and they are still checking. I do not see how they are going to make a mistake.
What about human error?
Human errors, they're probably going to power them by half of them are powered by computers, and they're building generators for reactors that are usually safer than other reactors that have been accidents. So, and human errors don't happen all the time. Well, actually.
Yeah.
Well, my question is that, kind of like, let me see. You mentioned that nuclear power releases tritium, makes what? Let me see. Wait. It says that mines of uranium create lots of contaminated waste, using nuclear power creates lots of indirect emissions. But have you ever thought of, if we don't use nuclear power, we're going to continue to use coal and other fossil fuels, and that they also that's the problem right now, we have created lots more emissions. And we're still creating right now.
Well, you know that constructing nuclear power and mining uranium also creates lots of pollution, and even more because the pollution is radioactive.
Well, you must see that they produce much more emissions on coal and fossil fuels than on nuclear power.
However, radioactive emissions are more harmful, don't you agree?
Well, if you keep them safely, they aren't.
How can you keep... Okay. So how can you guarantee that the power that nuclear power plants produce will be sustainable, other than fossil fuels?
Because they have well, we can show that fossil fuels are unsustainable because, well, they produce lots of emissions and they're running out. They are constant and they...
Time.